Inopinata here, going epiphytic. And then I have a mother plant down here. Oh, actually this one you can see it's about to flower. It's coming into the inflorescence. This one's the one I'm going to have a play with today. So it's the parent plant. I've left a big inflorescence on, although unfortunately there's no seedlings or seeds. I've planted her first 3 pups, and this one over here, but she's got about 9 more pups on her base, and I'm about to remove her. But I also hear a lot about Tillandsias being only epiphytic and that they don't like to be potted. And just by the colour in these Inopinatas, you can tell how much they love a full sun position when they've got access to constant moisture and they're not buried in there. So I am going to remove her. Now she has been in a much smaller pot and then placed in this larger pot with the 3 of her pups. So I've had a little bit of a play. She's not in there super tight, but you'll get a good idea of what sort of mixture I've got them thriving in as well. I'm going to remove a few of these pups. So I've got a good hold of a few leaves with the inflow, and I'm just going to give her a little tug. Here she comes. Bit of a shake. Then I can give the pot a better clean out too. So she can go in the tray, and I'll go and sit over here. So we're going to remove some of these pups from Mum and see how we go. Okay, so I'm low-balling it on the ground. I'm on there's my foot, sitting on the driveway while it's still a little bit shady. And I'm going to see if you can get a clear enough picture of this whilst I remove a few of these pups from Mum and just see what's going on. So this is the sort of root system that she's got from being potted most of her career. It's quite a solid root mass that she has. I'm really more interested in freeing up some of that root mass around the base of the actual plant so that I can bend these pups downwards. And if there's too much in the way of the pup, as in here, see if I can get right around the base of these pups is where I'm most interested in clearing, so that the pup can bend downwards without coming up against something else. But I think I'll remove the biggest ones, but I think they're almost all ready to remove. So she's still got a lot of goodness in her. I'm wondering if this is the 2nd generation of pups. She had 3 that she was planted with. So if I remove these, she could possibly produce another set of pups. I don't know, but I am going to find out. So let's get around to removing these pups. We'll see how we go. I might start with the smallest one, get a feel for what's going on. So I just want to bend her backwards a little bit, make sure as much of her base is clear as possible. I've got filthy secateurs here. They're not healthy at all. Now I just want to get in behind and make sure I'm freeing up some roots. Potentially getting as many roots as I can. There we go. So we've got a nice clean base there with a little bit of root sticking out. If you can get a focus on that. Okay, so that's one down. Ew. She's a ripper. Bit mucky because of the dirt. That is a downside, but that'll wash off. Give her a bath, she'll be fine. All right, next. They're definitely curled up around Mum. You're wanting to get as deep into the base as you can and have as much of the bottom of the plant supported as possible. And then I'm wanting to sort of cut the roots so that because they'll grow again, because they're just not going to come away completely from the plant. So you want to get as much as you can. But there's some roots attached at the bottom there. start with. So that's another nice sized pup. That's 2. Got a much larger one here that I have to get behind and around. All right, this is going to be much trickier. Make sure my base is cleared. All right, she's going to get dirty. Now I want to make sure I don't put too much pressure too high up the pup and accidentally snap it higher than the base of the plant. That's bad news. That's, you know, they can come back from that, but it really sets their growth back, or they die. That's the worst outcome, and you certainly don't want that happening because they're such special little treasures. Here we go. So I've managed to get some nice roots with this one. The mother plant doesn't particularly like it, I don't suspect, but she goes on to produce more, so she's just an absolute champ. I'll give you a look how it looks where the pups have been removed. This would have been the earlier ones. This was one today. This was the last one that I just removed. So there's still a little bit of debris. I'm not sure how well you can see those, but okay, so next pup. All right, get in here. See what roots I can bring with the plant. So you did hear a little snap, and that's good news because it was the right spot. And I'm just separating the roots. So here we go, we've got another gorgeous girl. That makes 4. Moving around. We have another couple of beauties here. So remembering this is generation 2, so when I say 4, it's actually the 7th. And just reminding you, this is a Tillandsia Inopinata. Beautiful colour in the leaves. The more exposure they get to full sun, they actually love a full sun position. But clearly when you look at that one that I've got mounted and it's growing epiphytic, the leaves are more curled. They're definitely not as succulent, if that is even the right word, but it gives the image. Oh, this one came off with a stack of roots because he was on the right angle. Oh, that's the best case scenario. Look at all those roots on that one. What a ripper. So that's 5, 6. And then we've still got this one here who's kind of protected under a leaf. I think I might leave that on for now and just encourage Mum to keep growing that one and perhaps spit out some more for me. So I'm going to pop her back in the pot, and I might even think about repotting those bigger Inopinatas too, her first round of pups, and perhaps plant 3 of these pups with her instead. I'll let you know how I go. So I have 3 pots here. I have the last of my wood chip in a bucket, and I'm going to replant my 3 first generation Inopinatas that are sitting in this pot here. So I'm going to go about the first one. This one appears to be getting the most sun on the driveway here. These ones get quite a lot of afternoon sun. Belting in. And I'm running out of time too. So we're going to grab this one out. You can see the sort of mix that it's in. Quite a bit of soil, quite a bit of bark chip. Anyway, out this one comes and we'll see what she's got. All right. There we go. She's going to be potted in just bark. So I'll come over here. I've got my pot and I'll pop her in this little container here. Put some bark in my pot to start with. and then I'll pop her in, and you can see what she's already got left, or what sort of root system she's got, and you can see roughly how deeply she was rooted. So I'd like her to sit just a little bit higher than that, but I'm going to pop some dirt in, or some wood chip in. One sec. Here we go. I'm a bit of a messy bugger, but here's one Inopinata. This was in the most shade, and you can see there's some beautiful burgundy maroon on the leaves, but the ones getting more sun have significantly more colour to them. They really do like a lot of exposure if you can offer it. And then I've got some other pups there. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 of her pups, and she's still got one attached. So she's sitting on 10 at the moment. I'm about to pop her back in her pot, so I'll move this one to the side. We'll grab Mama Bear and pop her back in her spot. Dig her in with herself just a little bit. And I'm going to place the pup on this side, because this is the side that does get the most sun exposure, and it will just produce better. These are all Acmea recurvata Varbenrathii that are surrounding her. I've got a few pups that I've just dug out this morning as well. So I'm going to put a couple of her pups in around her again, simply because I'm space challenged. There's not a lot of space in my tiny garden. I think you can see through there without getting leaves in the way that take it out of focus. It's a very small front yard, and it's very busy. We'll have a really quick look. There's Dorothy, and she's about to get a water, or the whole garden is. Some beautiful, enormous Stramineas. This one's been flowering for quite a while. It's a beast. And then I've got some pups emerging. Here, and here. I have some more Inopinata pups over here. This is one from my other plant. A couple of beautiful hot stuff pups I've recently removed from their mother, and she's got a whole bunch of pups coming. Yeah, just a very busy yard. I don't take you into this back corner very often. This is on the move at the moment, and it's right in the way, so I can no longer get through here because that's there. So I do need to find it a home. Today's probably the day while I'm out the front. But yes, it's all very busy, so I need to rearrange some things and make it a little bit more functional to get around. I've been in the front yard for a while. I've lost my shade, but I've put 3 of the smaller pups just in the side here for the moment. 4. Well, that's one of the ones I've potted, and that one, and the third one over here. It's just little. I've got one attached at the moment, and we'll see what she does, whether she just continues growing that one or wants to pump out a 3rd generation for me. She still looks pretty healthy, so promising.